or an interlocutory order. They wouldn't do that. Yeah, because they can actually address that issue at the Federal High Court. Simple. And with the Federal High Court directive, initial directive to everybody, David Mark and the ADC leadership still remained the way it was. Their initial directive to everybody, let's roll back to the beginning where this whole nonsense started. Their initial directive was they did not disturb David Mark leadership or the ADC leadership at all. So all the lawyers would have done is check whether this case, the court actually really does have a jurisdiction over this case. And if they do, don't fight that particular issue. Just go about your business as a party and prepare to respond to that particular case at the Federal High Court. Don't do anything actually until when INEC misbehaved, and then you file a motion of notice to that Federal High Court that INEC has misbehaved. But you see, even the appellate court status quo antebellum, I believe the Supreme Court threw that one away so that there is no confusion whatsoever. I believe the Supreme Court threw that away so that there's no confusion whatsoever, because there seem to be misinterpretations every day. Antebellum is this, antebellum is supposed to be with the David Mark, or no, antebellum is supposed to be with the Nwosu. And INEC has actually disobeyed that order. So there's confusion everywhere, and I believe that the Supreme Court in their wisdom threw that away so that INEC just returned everything back to the way it was. There is no antebellum to interpret now. So that one is cancelled. Return David Mark leadership to the way it was, and you go back to the Federal High Court and go and address that complaint idea, because the court really does have jurisdiction. So what am I trying to say? In the first place, we wouldn't have even arrived at the Supreme Court to get all of that. We would have just stayed at the Federal High Court, follow their directive, and do absolutely nothing. We will not even appeal anything to the appellate court. We'll just stay at the Federal High Court, knowing that this case that is brought to the court.
You are repeating yourself. You are just repeating the same thing. You are just repeating the same thing. We know your point already.
I'm saying that ADC legal team took a part that is wrong, that wasted everybody's time, and they shouldn't have taken that part. And that part that they took is what has brought us to where we are now.
They took the part required for times like this.
It was just totally.
They took the part required for times like this. They took the right part required.
No, they did not take the right part. I'm sorry. That was the wrong part they took.
What David Mark's lawyer tried to do, they tried to bypass. This is my own layman understanding. They tried to bypass this whole hurdles.
Only to be sent back. Only to be sent back.
Only to be sent back.
Yeah, but
Can
you blame people doing something that is illegally their legal rights by the screw up of the system? I don't understand this.
We need wisdom here, and those guys have not.
The wisdom is to know what
guys. I think if we are talking over each other, it starts for listening. 1 second, we're not communicating, and listeners will not get nothing. All right, so let's take it one by one, and let somebody submit. You can react after the submission. Let's say Abiodun submit, and you will give your reaction.
But he's saying the same thing over and over now.
Oh, Jimmy,
who determines that? Just let him finish. Let him finish. I thought that's what you guys practice in courts. Let him finish.
Unfortunately, I'm sounding like a broken record, because that is just simply the truth. An appeal all the way to the Supreme Court was totally unnecessary. That's not wise. Quite frankly, that's amateur. Okay? And we didn't need to go all the way up there, appealing. All we needed to do was stay with the actual case at the Federal High Court. That's all we needed to do, because the Federal High Court has already given a directive, and the directive they gave did not affect the ADC leadership. It did not affect it whatsoever. It was when they made an appeal to the appellate court that all the mess started. Do you understand that, Mr. Jimmy? So all they need to do is do absolutely nothing. And today, the ADC leadership will have just been the way it was. And would have probably finished dealing with that case at the Federal High Court. I'm not talking about the case about the Federal High Court, because actually I know that Gombe will lose that case big time. I will not discuss the detail of the case of subjudice. But if you dive deep into the case, you'll see that the Gombe guy will actually lose the case. And he will lose big. So look, guys, what are we running all the way to the Supreme Court for? What was all that waste of time for? Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I would just stay with the federal case. The only thing I would check with that Federal High Court case is whether the court really does have jurisdiction, whether it's strictly just an internal party matter. The moment I see that the court has jurisdiction, I will check the evidences, I will check all of that cases, and then everything is in my favor. I won't say anything. I'll just go about my business. And when the court gives a date for the hearing, I will go there and I will go and beat the David Mark silly. So So look, all I'm saying is that what the ADC lawyer did, all this appeal, of course, not the mess. They shouldn't have done it. They wasted all of our time, and they brought us to this mess. They are to blame for this mess that we're in. Thank you.
Okay, let me respond to you.
It's my turn. It's my turn.
Sorry, let me just. He called my name, so let me just quickly respond to him, and then you can go. Now,
Jimmy.
He called my name. I just want to respond to him.
Said, hold on. So you take 2 minutes because you were the one who spoke before he reacted, so that it doesn't become a back and forth thing. So take 2 minutes, react, then we'll move the conversation.
Okay. Now let me tell you why the David Mark lawyers or the ADC lawyers did what they did. Now they did it very instructively. It was not. They didn't do it not expecting the outcome. They knew the outcome was going to be the outcome. But what they didn't want was a situation where the Federal High Court would have given judgment, because you kept talking about, they did not disturb the David Mark leadership. It's not as if David Mark didn't know that. You kept talking that they didn't disturb it. Why not wait? Continue with until the court arrived at a judgment. No. If they had waited, they knew why, even though it was not disturbed, they went up. The reason why they went up was because I'm not sorry, the matter is in court. So let me not, I will be very careful what how I comment on this.
Always fear to talk something where we know be
No.
Not mind them. You people should allow us. Since you guys cannot talk on it, let us talk on it.
No, you can't comment on it.
Since you lawyers cannot talk on it, let ordinary people like us talk on it.
We the ordinary Nigerians.
Make we talk.
No. There's actually, let me even surprise you. There's no law that says you cannot speak on it. So that's not.
So that's how Abiodun say we can't preempt, because they can win.
Don't mind them, Kenny. Let us
What the law expects you to do is to be cautious in the way, like Abiodun said. He said you can't preempt. So let's not.
But we can. We the court of public opinion. We can preempt.
Let's preempt.
I think let's talk. Let's take it. This case is for public opinion, and I will speak 10 over 10. First of all,
reactions will title displays. Reactions.
So, Grandmaster, he says Lagos Governor Poo, watch moment, Lagos. This was Channel reporting. Watch moment, Lagos State Deputy Governor Kadri
Hamzat
everyone was present to first lady Senator Remy as APC consensus candidate. This was Channel television reporting anyway. So I feel like that's credible enough. Anyway, let me go back to. I have a little bit of understanding because we had this conversation, I believe, yesterday, and I was able to get a little bit of clarity on the, the High Court of, the decision that continue what you're doing until we make a decision on this case. Then the David Marks, they went to appellate court, and then we now hear the antebellum that is now caused them to now go to INEC to delist David Mark. And then they now went to the Supreme Court. Like, that's the simple way to put it. And I put it to Abiodun and any other legal luminary on TV that is talking. it is your opinion. I don't think it's Abiodun, I don't think it's right to say it's immature. It's the truth. I've made this case with Tudo. Your opinion is not the truth. They are immature. That is your opinion. There's no clear part that they are being mature. You don't know what led them to their decision. Just like you feel right in what you are interpreting, the same way those people feel right in whatever they were pursuing at that time. And the person they are representing has never disagreed with them. So I just don't feel that is right. And that's when I talk on space. I say my opinion. I reiterate that all the time. Our opinion can never become legal. No, you can't say, oh, because they did it, they made a mistake. That is your opinion. You don't know if it's a mistake. Maybe they were trying to save time. And at the same time, while they were trying to save time, you cannot blame them for the shenanigan of the judiciary of Nigeria. You cannot blame it on ordinary Nigerian or ordinary attorney that is trying to, do their job to file a case. You can't blame them for it. Who told you that if they would have remained in that high court, that high court will not drag that case till next year? Who told you so? They've done it before. They've done it millions of times. So they are not only acting based on the legal issue, they have to act also on the reality of the Nigeria that we are living inside.
God bless you.
On that there is a possibility.
I'm sorry, Kenny, can I ask you a quick question, please? There's something you just said that I find very interesting. So you said, who told you if they had remained, at the high court, that the high court would not have dragged it till next year? It would have wouldn't it have been still in favor of David Mark? Because the entire reason why we ended up at the Supreme Court was because we went. Just a moment, please. Okay, just a moment. Wasn't the reason why we all ended up where we are today? Because we now went to the appeal courts, right? And then the appeal court now created the entire antebellum thing, which now led to the purging of the entire NWC led by David Mark by the INEC. If we had stayed at that high court, would there have been a purge in the first place? Now that we are back at the high court, what makes you believe that the high court is not going to take another 1 year to give that same judgment? I want to make sense out of all these things that we're saying.
I said I find understand, and this was cleared to me like last night by Abiodun and Tudo. I said I get that understand because there was too much. We got too much confused with the noise, and we were crying about why did they go to Apex Court without the other one being vocal enough, which is why did they even leave the lower court to go to appeal court? That get lost in the whole noise. Everybody dwelled on Apes. Why did they go to Apes and without missing? So I was clarified yesterday. I said, yes, I could see reason of why that could be a mistake. In my opinion, mind you, Grandmaster, I don't have problem with people saying it's right or wrong, but people should also say it's their opinion based on the analysis of what is going on. It's my opinion is that I'm now forming that opinion that yes, it could be a mistake, but we are where we are today. Going to Apex Court, that one is not a mistake. The first one could be, but the last one was okay. Let's save time and get the judgment from the highest court. Finally, they struck them down to where they are. I'm just not a big fan of holding any water for Nigerian judiciary in any way. But this is where we are today. Like you said, Jimmy, and I've suggested to them for more than a year now, pick up your consensus candidates, present it to INEC, and let's move on. Instead of this charade of primary, whatever they call it, direct primary, that they don't even know what it means, but they keep screaming about it. I remain with it. I will continue to scream. I hope they do it with the speed of light, as you say, Jimmy. Thank you. I yield the mic here.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn now. 10 over 10, right?
Are you a legal luminary, Odogu?
I'm not. I've not even entered a court for once in my life. So I'll start by saying I'm giving my opinion. So this is my personal opinion. Like Kenny said, my opinion, not the law, not necessarily the law. And this opinion is based off of research and based off of following. But if you're saying that if they didn't go straight to the Supreme Court, this it would have taken more time. It could still take more time now, even after the Supreme Court. And this case might still be able to go all the way back to the Supreme Court. It is there. There's no law forbidding the case to go back to the Supreme Court. It could still go all the way down there. But the issue is, did they do the wise thing? Let me not say the right thing. Did they do the wise thing by taking the case to the appeal court instead of handling the case there at the Federal High Court? No, I don't think they did. Personally, I think this was a waste of time. They wasted everybody's time. And honestly, that begs the question, who are these lawyers for the ADC? Who are the people that are handling this thing? Who are the people that are handling? How informed are they when it comes to their case? How, like, because sometimes we just assume that, oh, because it's the ADC lawyers, they can never make mistake. Oh, because they're in Nigeria, the way they did it because of the condition of Nigeria. But logically, if you look at it, it makes no sense in any way. There's no argument that you bring for them taking this case to the appeal court and then to the Supreme Court that will make sense in terms of saving time. There's no argument that you bring that also makes sense in terms of the condition of Nigeria, because it's the same court. If you say because of the condition of Nigeria, you're still going back to the same Nigerian court. So that's the thing. I've been thinking about this. We've had this conversation on Tudo Space, and the whole time I haven't been able to come up with a reason why these people didn't handle the case in the first place with the High Court. So I guess we're now back to square one. We're going back to start this whole process all over again at the High Court, how they should have done it in the first place. So that's what I wanted to do.
Now.
You know the difference
now. Turn now. Jimmy, please, it's my turn. Please, let me just go fast. I want you to respond.
Yeah, it will be your turn when I finish.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I just want to conclude by saying that I think if they don't know already, I know by now these lawyers must have learned something from this. They must have learned one or two things, and maybe in the future, stuff like this will be prevented. But also, I think that the ADC, as an opposition, needs to do more than it's doing. I've stated this over and over again on different spaces. The ADC needs to be doing more than what it's doing right now to carry the Nigerian people along. I'll just leave the case right here, but I'm calling to question those lawyers that work with the ADC, and in fact, the whole structure, what they're doing currently, the ADC, they're not doing enough. There's more that they could do. And if it's a case of needing capable hands, there are so many people who support Peter Obi and so many people who support the ADC who are professionals in their field who can help. So if they need more hands in any way, they can always reach out to people. Just get professionals involved in this and stop
that's
wasting.
what we have been screaming all
Get
this
professionals involved and stop wasting everybody's
Why
time.
didn't you bring it to public and we could debate this before you go ahead with every other step?
Not even necessarily, just put it out there. Say you want, people who can. Some people will even volunteer. I know that there are people who are willing, because what we are fighting for is the new Nigeria. We're all in this together. Some people can volunteer their services. Some people insist that you pay them because they're professionals. But what I'm saying is, do a wide consultation before you do certain things. Because there is no way, there's nobody that can justify this step that they took at all. Even me, that's not a lawyer, I can see it easily. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So I hope Jimmy and Dio are listening. There's this lawyer that was in the court, Aisha Haman. You people can go and check it. And I think while I think they skipped all of these things for the Supreme Court, or is it the appeal court, I think they did not want to go through this Federal High Court. It is, to me, I'm not a lawyer, so I can say my mind. it is very notorious in bringing different types of judgments. That was the main reason I believe they skipped it. They skipped all of this process. They just wanted something very fast and everything. But what this lawyer is saying is that the Supreme Court
I know it keeps cutting out, so I have to keep doing this, unfortunately. And I know that a lot of people probably requesting the mic, so I can't even get on. So we'll have to manage it like this.
blah 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 and the rest. So for me, I think I understand where the ADC lawyers was trying to do. They were trying to really avoid some of these courts that will give us shambolic judgment. But the court is saying you must go back and start from scratch. So for me, I don't think it's something to celebrate. It's still a trap. We're still back to square one, and that square one is still going to give us something that we may not like. So for me, I think Supreme Court just washed their hands. They did not want to dabble into settling this case. They just said, go back to those courts, go and settle those courts case back. We are removing the status quo antebellum. That is all they just did today. For me, we're still in the same mess. But I think if they listen to what Jimmy said, Jimmy was suggesting that we should just keep on moving like we do not have any of these court cases and see how we can push through at the end of the day. So I don't know if we should be happy, if we should be sad, but I just feel like going back to that Justice Lifu's Federal High Court in Abuja is still a landmine that will still cause us back to ground zero. So those are just my little thoughts. Thank you.
You know,
Yeah, let me just chip in.
If you give me time, just one. If we have 1 second, please.
Okay.
If you give me,
I wanted to chip in something.
No, just Jimmy, just 1 minute, because they mention your name. I think
before my name, I don't. You know.
Okay, I will mute you. Go ahead, no problem.
Okay. So what I actually said, and this is what I keep saying, is that we are in unusual times, and no matter how you take it, the government would have still tried to do what they are doing now. If you say you did not see it, I saw it since last year. Look, we are in unusual times. You don't take usual measures. Waiting for the High Court would have been a usual measure. You don't wait. You don't take. Look, let me tell you. This is something I've been in processes. Not exactly this, but in processes similar to this. When there are unusual conditions, you use unusual measures. Now, that's why I said they should move at light speed, because there is a point you get to. It will be very, very unwise for anybody to sit. It will be like the June 12th scenario. It will be very unwise, anybody who knows the history of Nigeria, to go and sit and sit because you are presiding over a court, and then decide that the main opposition would not fill the candidate which they have selected, the people, the number of the people. So what they wanted to prevent was a situation where they will have the PDP situation, where the PDP had been stopped earlier and the whole thing messed up. So they wanted a situation where there is no definite judgment stopping them. So it will be in question of whether they were allowed or not allowed, why they continue. Now, while people like P2P will now have opportunity to join the party, Kwankwaso will now have opportunity to join the party, then let somebody now sit and tell me that with the crowd following these men, these men, including Article 2, that you will now sit and say the country will not have opportunity of choosing their candidate. That is what the ADC wanted. They didn't want a situation where the High Court will hold them, because that was the mistake PDP made. If these matters were not, we are not litigated and there were judgments and counter judgments stopping this, stopping that, by now, it would have been very difficult for anybody to stop PDP from going ahead. But with what the ADC has done today, with what has come out today, I'm not saying it's the final judgment on it. I know the matter was sent back to the Federal High Court, but it will be very, very unwise. I am saying this with all sense of responsibility, for any judge to sit and tell you that the main opposition, after presenting candidates with the thousands of people that will come together to decide, don't forget that the party candidate will be chosen either by consensus. I don't want consensus. Anybody who is wanting consensus for ADC may not be wishing the best. Let it go through a primaries so that the number of people that would have been invested in that process will be so much that any pararam will lead to pararam. You see, you use the weak method. When things get to a point, you don't follow the usual method. You use the weaker method. See, you don't look people like this, like Wike and Tinubu. You don't look them in the usual process. Look, anybody might go and disagree with me. Anybody might go and say I said otherwise. But the thinking here is that if ADC had followed what a lot of people, because I hear Nigerians, they should move into another party. Which other party? They should move into another. That is the usual method. You don't use the usual method with this person. Get your candidate on ADC and let me see the INEC and the court that will stop that candidate from being on the ballot. If they want Nigeria to remain together. So let's stop this idea of we made a mistake. There was no mistake. People first, when you get the people on your side, the powers that the so-called powers that be, because they don't even have power, the powers are conferred by the people. The so-called powers that be will not be in their right senses to stop you. So thank you very much. I hope people will understand this and know that we are in unusual times. We are not in usual times. So you have to use unusual measures to get what you want.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but that method that Mr. Jimmy is saying is quite very usual in Nigeria. And as far as I'm concerned, those methods are what make Nigeria legal system quite very bogus. In fact, makes it look very complicated to common Nigerians. Okay, because the truth is that the case at the Federal High Court, the court has jurisdiction, and so there is no need to start pursuing an appeal all the way to the appellate court, all the way to the Supreme Court on an interlocutory motion. There is no need for all of that. You should have actually addressed it at the Federal High Court. And let's just say for procedural sake, for only procedural sake, that knowing that the Supreme Court may likely throw that case back if we had not addressed this at the first instant court. For that alone, I will not even move an inch, except I have addressed it at the first instant court. Okay? Anybody that wants to say anything other than that, I'm sorry, but that is just weak and nonsense. It's only just going to compound issues, and it has compounded issues for us already, hasn't it? And we're not talking about they're trying to beat time. Have they beat the time now? In fact, they wasted the time. We are 10 days away, a couple of days away from delivering on INEC, and that's where we are. Meanwhile, if they had not gone to the, would have adopted this many weeks ago. In fact, there'll be nothing to deal with because the Federal High Court already given a directive that does not affect INEC leadership. Okay? Thank you. And I'm criticizing the ADC legal team. They should come and meet me. Let's have a debate. I will clean all of them up. What they did is amateur. In fact, it is useless and it was a waste of our time. And they should start telling themselves the truth. Thank you.
Okay. No, real quick before I go. Look, what DOA Abiodun said and with Jimmy, both of them are right a little bit in some ways. Like especially Jimmy, what he just said. I mean, Jimmy, I look at your profile. You are a lawyer, and if I'm not wrong, am I right? Am I right, my brother? You are a lawyer. Am I right?
You're correct.
Okay, perfect. So what you say right here, I'm talking from the sense of legal perspective, which is my field, and tie with international laws, you know, because that's what we need to say on right here. That's one point. The other point is that what Jimmy just mentioned, very powerful, the power of the people. So we shouldn't be kind of ignorant, because 2023, these same guys, the court, they deceive us, they destroy our time, they destroy our effort, but we are a people that forget so very soon. That is what troubles me looking at the title right here. They're saying Supreme Court decides on ADC. That's just BS. It's a bad thing to say, you know what the people got to do. Because they're watching. Look, they have their members listening to this place. They say, look at this guy. They start talking again. They are the talking people. Let's use them. So it's a bad time we lawyers, or we common citizens, or farmers, or business guys, and we are the Niger. Niger doesn't carry last. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bad time to talk about what can we do to tell the courts, look, we are watching you. We have to remind them, you don't destroy the 2023. We know where you live. We know your children. It's not threat. We're gonna arrest you. Because you see, when you look at these guys, they are emperors, they have boldness. So in the Western world, people protest against court cases and they protest against judges and all that. But in Nigeria, we don't. So to kind of round up my talk before I run to the gym, look, we need to be aware of the fact that there's what we call judicial corruption, fundamentally, that undermines the rule of law. I repeat, judicial corruption. This should be what should be talking right here. You know, they transform the legal proceedings, you know, into tools of extortion, political repression, rather than justice. And that the corruption now in courts, we now include bribery, political interferences. You don't know what Tinubu is doing now even. You know, the extortion and the nepotism, and that will result to what? Unfair trials, delays, and all this that they have been doing on us since even before 2023, the presidential election that is told. The judiciary, they study the system. They store our mandate. All right. So then you have these indicators by legal proceedings. You know, when you have the indicators, you can just briefly say, number one would be unpredictable outcomes. That is corruption. We, the people, we should predict the outcome, not them. Because some of us are lawyers, some of us are professors, some of us went to school abroad, at home. You know what I'm saying? So a judicial proceeding will be predictable. When somebody steals, we know that person is going to jail. That's predictable. But when you live in Nigeria, when you say, oh, that person, no, just stop and go away. There's corruption already. The next thing is this, is the fixers and the bribes. When you have the fixers and bribes, and then you have the middleman can come to the government, and they are making calls are behind the sort of like the re-election time when it was stolen, and the judges are there, the court clerks are there, the prosecutors are all consumed in this web of, you know, corruption. So that's number two indicator. Number third indicator is political interference. That is what is telling Nigeria. That third option or indicator is political interference. That's why the people are going to say, you know what? You guys are interfering in our system. We're going to revolt. That's why we be a mandate, our talks. We are going to revolt. And senators, we will arrest you guys. We have the numbers. When we talk like this, they know we have changed. We're going to arrest the judges. We're going to arrest the senators. We're going to arrest the political leaders because we are the people. The fourth point would be the pre-trial corruption. That's also very damning. And then you have evidences and you have witness intimidations and bias cases, allocations, and all that. The fifth one is the excessive delays. Now, if you guys should take note about all this point I'm saying. So when there is excessive delays, this is corruption already. So if people, they come here, they hear what we are saying, they say, these guys are cooked. We have lawyers there. We have judges there. We have among them. We should be afraid that they'll come and arrest us. They will raid our homes. They will raid our children.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Let me just land up, sir. Let me land up, please. So I'm running up so that I can. So the next one will be the common scenarios that where you have the swearing back and it's white and all that. Then the next one will be bribe for no what we call in legal case, bribe for no effect. I don't have the time to go into that right now. Bribe for no effect. The next one will be enforcement failure. And judicial immunity, then retaliation, and weak internal control.
Prof, kindly wrap up, please.
That, okay?
Kindly wrap up, yeah.
I just run up with that.
Yeah, I have a quick question.
You guys, don't worry. You can go. Just 1 minute. So the last point is what I said before. We are talker Nigerians. I left a comment on the Purple Pearl. You can read my comment. When you see nations like Spain, Germany, all these guys, even Holland, in many few statistics back, right? The people were not talking. They arrested the Prime Minister of the Netherlands. They ate them halfway and the brother. What's that? That is violence, peaceful violence of the people. So it's a bad time should be talking about, look, if we steal the next election, you are cooking with, we don't know what we're going to do. We're going to take righteous violence. I yield the mic. Go ahead with your question. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So the question is this. I heard you mention, and I think also Jimmy also mentioned it earlier. So I guess anybody can answer this question. You mentioned that one of the reasons they had to do this, to go to the all the way to the Supreme Court, is because they want to get the people involved, which would have been a very powerful point. But my question is this. After the election in 2023, when we did All Eyes on the Judiciary, when we held multiple spaces, countless times, some people even doxed some of these lawyers or some of the judges that were handling the case that time. We kept putting pressure on them. What effect did that have to the case? What effect did it have? How did it affect the case?
Sorry. I'm leaving very sorry, Jim. Let me just answer really quick in 10 seconds. Look, there was no pressure. It's bullshit. Let me give you an example. In Venezuela, when Maduro stole the election, the lady, the Nobel Prize winner, you guys saw the news, went to Donald Trump and all that. You know what she did in Venezuela? She went to the street. And the thousands who gathered around her, the police couldn't arrest her. Did you see that in Nigeria by Peter Obi or other people? So you guys are just saying, there's no pressure. We don't put pressure. We never did anything. So
what's different right now? With this case that we're talking about, what is different?
I just answer you, sir. What is different is that we failed last time. Right now, it's about time to tell them, look, Venezuela went to the streets and some few were killed. We are ready to die.
So have we gone to the streets?
Yeah, go to the street. Wait. Not go to the street with hundreds. I don't advocate for that. I mean 1 million minimum. That's the message. Go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, I just asked that question to. Let me answer you. Hold on. Yeah, you answer. Let me complete the question first. I asked that question to let you know that point about putting the pressure on them using the people, it does not work in Nigeria.
There was no pressure. You're not listening. There was no pressure. It was online, blah, blah, blah. There was no pressure.
It didn't work.
There was no pressure.
It didn't work.
We told people to calm down. It was not. See, let me tell you, it will not be like that time. At this time, that's why I said they should move with the light of
Okay, now that they've referred to the High Court, are you on the streets? Are you on the streets right now?
Why are you going to be on the streets now? Wait now. You wait.
You're not on the street. The case is still ongoing. The case hasn't been dismissed yet.
That is the point. That is the point. Please calm down so that you understand. Or if you understand, or probably you understand, but you are trying to, ensure that your point is, taken as the correct one.
I'm trying to see it makes sense to me. Logically, it doesn't make any sense to me. But I'll go down.
Let me make this point. The question you asked is, are people on the streets? On the streets for what? Now a judgment has come saying go back to the High Court. Within that time, now this is what I would do if as a top person in ADC, and I know that is what they want to do. If this ADC, what the ADC should do now is to move at the light of speed, get their candidates, get everything, submit it to INEC, and let that court that wants to dead the Nigerian people, let that INEC that wants to dead the Nigerian people, I am saying this with all sense of responsibility, and I own it. Let that person person who wants to dare the Nigerian people, now come out and dare the Nigerian people and see that the Nigerian people are so determined at this time to
absolutely. And Donald Trump, brother, let me ask you one line. Donald Trump is in White House.
All right, guys. Let's not make
Donald Trump. No, one minute. Just one minute.
Let's not make it a back and forth. There are other speakers.
No, it's not back and forth. We're empowering the Nigeria. No, brother. It's not back and forth. We're empowering the people. Well, one thing I want to say, just 1 second, bro. One second.
Can you hold on? Just take 1 minute, give your reaction, then we have new speakers.
Okay. What the brother just said right now, you guys shouldn't forget that the world leaders who are good people, like Donald Trump, who's interested of Nigeria will change, and some other Christians in the Senate, Republican, they've submitted a letter on the desk of Donald Trump about Nigeria. You guys have forgotten that. We have to remind the court that, look, people will arise. If you want to kill 1 million or 2 million, Donald Trump will come and kill you. Simple as that. Go ahead. Thank you.
All right. I don't know if
Can I go now?
It's my turn. No, it's my turn.
Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you. Who is that? Who? How? Justice.
Justice, can you be a gentleman, please?
That is not true. But God have mercy. I told myself I wasn't going to speak on hell. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I decided I was not going to really speak on spaces until after the primaries of ADC. But I've listened to a lot of people, the lawyers and the speakers, say things that I'm asking myself, like, do Nigerians even know what we're in for? I love everything Prof said, and that is the spirit I have. My opinion may differ from everything you guys have said, and might tend to shift the conversation a little bit. So, with everything, and I'll have a question for you before I continue, Jimmy. Please just answer me straightforward, okay? Returning back to the High Court now, where does that leave ADC? Is it that we cannot go ahead with our primaries until they rule?
No, that's not what the court has removed. The Supreme Court has set aside the order saying status quo antebellum. So what it means is that the leadership as at that time continues. So even the
leadership of David Mark.
Yes, under the leadership of David Mark, there was no other leader. You understand? So even the misinterpretation of INEC by the decision of today, that misinterpretation, because it was a misinterpretation in the first place, they will not, the INEC does not even if they go ahead to hang on to that misinterpretation, because I know that INEC will try to hang on to it with this government. INEC will try to. That's why I said these are not things you wait and say you are waiting for INEC to allow you to now. No. Even if so, what you need to do is to go ahead. What they need to do, because the court has set aside that antebellum which the INEC is using, so they don't have any grounds now. So David Mark remains the chairman, and they should go ahead and conclude whatever processes they have.
And the convention stands, right?
That is what it should mean. Even if INEC will come out and say otherwise, that is what it should mean. No, so because why I'm saying that is what it should mean is that I'm not unaware that I'm unaware that INEC might try to say that it does not stand, but that is what in this particular decision of today actually means.
Okay. So all these things we've been saying here, waste of time, it's not even the point at this time. Please, guys, I need us to really, really focus on what we have, who Tinubu is, and what they are planning. If we can go ahead with our primaries, shouldn't that be the focus? Like what Prof said, let's do the primaries, get the candidate, and then let's see that person that will come and tell us, because honestly, this revolution will happen. It's definitely going to happen, knowing the kind of people we're dealing with. These ones they are doing now, some of the people in the markets, villages, street, they understand this one was speaking here. The only thing they want to hear is ADC is not going to be on the ballot. Then you start seeing serious reactions, because that's the language everyone understands. And that is where I stand. Tinubu has already, 2027 is a done deal for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as you and I are speaking here today. And the only person or the people that can change that plan is you and I, the people, nobody else. Everybody has been paid, everybody has been sorted, everybody has been put in their position and told what to do. You know that. IREV, INEC, ballot paper, everything has been done. And we're here discussing this. Why? Why are we doing this? Did you know, is the trauma of 2023? Has it left you guys? I know how to keep grudges. So if there's nothing I learned from federal school, it's how to keep grudges. The trauma of 2023, has it left us suddenly that we're here discussing Supreme Court again with no reaction? Our processes are flawed. Every process in Nigeria is a mess under APC. Why do we still trust the process? Why are we not going after the people messing up this process? Why are we still here debating waste of time, this, that? Supreme Court, at least, it has given us a good ground to kick off. So if we go back, trusting all of us, they told all of us to go and register for ADC, go and register. The only purpose for that was for your impact to show in the primaries, or however they are going to bring out a candidate. So now, going back to where back to David Mark's led ADC party, going back there, whoever, whether David Mark or this other guy, maybe there will be primaries. Maybe the people that would make an impact in the primaries, you and I, that they've asked to go and join the ADC. Is he only Bello or whatever his name is? Is he the only one going to vote in the primaries? Is the group of people, the multitude of the millions of Nigerians that registered under ADC that will still do the voting if at all it's going to be a primary? Isn't it? And it's our voices, the same voices that will be there if there's going to be a consensus. So why are we doing this? Either way, we just need a candidate. We just need ADC to hurry up and give us a candidate. That is all. For me, I've said I'm not going to do this. For me, we just need one candidate, and
as soon as possible. Very soon as possible.
Back and forth is distraction. The only reaction we need now is anybody that will come and tell us that one candidate we put out is voided. Then we'll start seeing reaction. Because it's bullshit that these people keep messing the processes up, and we're here fighting ourselves because of it. Why are we not attacking the people, destroying these processes? Why? What is working in Nigeria? What? Should people wake up tomorrow and put one silly law? Look at what they've said about the ballot papers. And we've not even started with that argument yet, too. We have not even started with that one yet. We have not even discussed that one yet. The what's it called? Forgery, whatever. We never even touched that one yet, too. Because we don't even know what we're going to attack Tinubu with, or what his campaign, whatever, is going to be like. We're here doing Supreme Court. The same Supreme Court of 2023. Please, if you're in ADC, if you've registered, if you're a member, if you're whatever in ADC, kindly, you people should hasten up the process. That's my stance. I don't even care what INEC is saying. I don't care what Supreme Court, High Court is saying. Just hasten up the process and give us a candidate. Simple for me. And then Nigerians can do what Nigerians know how to do best. I don't care if Tinubu has 36 governors. Nigerians will do what we did it in 2023, from zero to the millions we got. You don't tell us how to react when we need something. We will show them. That's all we need. Please, let's focus. Let's refocus our anger. Let's remember where we're coming from. What will be in 2027 if Tinubu remains in power. These two things, where you're coming from, where you're going, in next few months, should fuel your anger. And then we need to know what to do. Because all this English was speaking here, I'm not feeling it. What I'm feeling is action. What is happening? Are we revolting? What is going on? That's me. Please, I yield. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that thoughtful submission. Okay, let's go by the ends that we have up.
Okay, co-host, I got to go right now. Thank you for accepting my mic. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And sister, thank you for that powerful submission.
Thank you,
Co-host and
Sophia.
host.
All right.
And
Thank
just
you,
one
Sophia.
minute, please. And
Sophia,
please,
we have to move now,
please.
please. Sophia, please don't do that. Stay down. Let's move the mic.
Let me land my plane. Be respectful. I'm older than you.
Don't do that. People have been waiting. Oh my goodness. What? You don't need to bid us goodbye, Prof. Let us move this conversation.
I want to say something before I go.
Goodness.
Okay? Just for 30 seconds, please. Why you guys are so stubborn in Nigeria? Don't respect people?
Okay, you have to go now. Bye-bye. That's very wrong of you. Very wrong of you. That's arrogance.
All right, let's move. This stubborn for Nigeria, and we'll allow you speak for almost 10 minutes.
I mean,
AC.
Can I go? The man they go dream.
Uncle Jago is in charge, not me. It's Uncle Jago. I just heard that.
Over 40 minutes, you know, Greek go gym.
Give me 1 minute.
I know, Prof. Now I leave am JJ, make you do it.
Sorry, guys. I hate to interject like this. Greetings, everyone. Jago, hi. 10 over 10, my first time on your space. I just want to let you know that I'm streaming it on my YouTube channel, and I hope you do not mind. So, is that okay by you? Okay. All right. That's why I came up.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's fine.
I need to remain on the speaker session so it doesn't keep cutting out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Awesome. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you to you too. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So guys, it's being streamed, so let's take it within civil bounds. Yeah. So that you don't flag over there. All right. Seeking.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jago. Thank you, everyone. What I want to talk about is our system, our lifestyle, the way we have normalized a lot of things is affecting us. Even sometimes I think is it part of our education system? Because when I see some of this judgment, is in Nigeria, you see a lot of judgment with a lot of Latin words. And you ask yourself, why the ambiguity? When you go to school, they teach you how, all these things can be, and a lot of people are moving out of countries, moving out of ambiguity. And you see a Nigerian lawyer, most of the time, sometimes I listen to Arasi, I see Abati, the Latin, is it a show off? Starting from that, when I hear also we have to do it this way, we accept it. I had a building. That's fine. Please, two things can be right. The ADC lawyers, they are not completely wrong. You have a point. They could have done that, but they also looked at other things, which you and I have seen in this country, in our country, that when you do it that way, it goes that way. It's not as if, you should have studied. No, they are not amateurs. That's a completely wrong way to say it. And when you look at how things has been going, how we've seen things, how things unfold. If they stayed there, this is the plan. This is the plan. Either you stay there forever, or you go here, we'll bring you back. They are running the clock. That's the whole idea. Run the clock. What are they running the clock for? Have you asked? Sit back. They are only running the clock for one thing. And ADC leadership and their politics They are complicit with this problem. They are part of the problem. A lot of people say, why? Because they play politics with this whole thing without reality. When you started as an opposition, what did you do? You outline what you want to do, how you are going to do it, what you're looking for. Don't play politics with the people, because now you want the people, and the people align with you. Now you're playing politics. And they were initially so amassed by wanting one candidate that they initiated, that had the money, this thing, and this thing. They did not look at the bigger picture. And that is what is coming to haunt them. Because you're coming out of opposition, you need to set your eyes on the ball. And the ball was very clear. You need to stay in the South. And when you stay in the South, you need to stay with your best candidate. People are telling you there is one man that can win the election. So when you're focused on maneuvering, you yourself was trying to run the clock on him so that he doesn't leave. So you didn't do the right thing. Then APC joined you. Let's just face the fact. They did that. They wanted in a situation that, if now P2B is in ADC, there are certain things we do. We know this man has the clout. He can make any party do. He can walk away to another party and do whatever he did. So let's take it slow. And taking it slow, look at what you have attracted to yourself. Now APC is helping you do that. And if you want me to say clearly, if you guys are smart in ADC, they should have run a dummy plan. And I tell you this, if you run a dummy plan in ADC today, and I won't say it here, you will see the problem will go away. Because the target is one man. They don't want him on a ballot. And that's the man. Let's say you call the outside world. And the outside world, the Western world, they don't even understand what you're doing. Why do they not understand what you're doing? You say you're no position. You don't want to put a face on it. So that when a reporter comes, he says the opposition leader has done this. They have done this to the opposition leader in Nigeria. What are you doing? You are playing your own internal politics, and they are using it also to hurt you, and you're claiming, we know what you're doing. And it's going to hurt you in the end. As you running the clock, now they're helping you run the clock. What these people are doing, whether they started in the Supreme Court, they are running the clock. And they're not running it for Atiku. Let's be clear, they're not running it for Amechi, they are running it for P2B. Because that's who the clock is against. And because that's who can energize the people. The moment you put a face on it and start moving, then you can now tell the people, this is what we're fighting for. And every time you get permutations, these, come on, guys. When Nigeria needs to be saved, every time you tell us it has to come from, give me a break. Do the right thing for once. So these politics that you've done have attracted this issue. However, where do we go from here? Where we go from here is this. You look at what can be done right now. Because this case, there's another case that deregistered. If you want to understand, there's something going on in tandem. I guarantee you today, one of 2 or 3 parties they may indicate P2B going to, if he decides to leave, will be in the list that the Attorney General or whatever they call him has submitted to the register. There is also a case that ADC lost. They have to attend. A lot of appeals will come. So when we come and talk about, we can speak like we're in a classroom, how it works. We don't look about the reality, what we've been seeing Oh no, stay in the court. They do this. They will judge it. Oh please, give me a break. What are you going to say that smart lawyers like Odinkalo and all the rest of them haven't said? He trained most of these judges in Africa. So let's be real. The reality is also the people. When you have a candidate that energizes the people, it's easier to energize the people. The way forward, like somebody mentioned 2023, no, there was no pressure. And Jago, you can bear me witness. When I be coming on space here, we leave it late. And we just pick what we choose because we want to trend, we want to do normal things the way we leave it late. I started talking about electoral act long time ago. And a lot of people, oh no, it's not important. Activate your civil societies, do this, do that. No, the judge will do the same thing. But I'm not saying it's important now, but I'm saying, why did you become interested in the last minute? And I was listening to Senator Irete Kingisbe's interview, and he said exactly the same thing. He said, pressure works. You just have to apply it. And we haven't applied it. 2023 judgment election, like somebody said, there was no pressure. I don't want to use this as an example. It's a bad example, please, in a wrong way. What is going on in South Africa is really bad, condemnable. But do you see the crowd when the people coming out? Even though they're asking for the wrong thing. What I'm using there in this example is the people coming out. You make demands. You have to energize the people. When the system is so bad that even those who we expect, those big players, now I'm thinking I see people like, and I'm not shying away from mentioning it. I think we're talking about electoral reform. How many years ago? He wasn't interested because he thought at some point it would favor him. The flaws will favor him. All this while, how many years ago? Integrity. How many times do you go to a Supreme Court? And let's say, for example, during the election, when Donald Trump was ready to go, common sense, integrity. There were certain things they could not do because the election is closed and he was considered a candidate. You don't need to file a case for that. Give me a break. You practice in the Western world. You know how these things go. There are certain things when you want to make clear, you make it clear. For the people, for the lives, for the system, for the institution. That's why we're so backward. We want to, the line says this. We don't, we don't develop. We don't come out of the box. So I think when we go back and I say, okay, this is what we want to do as a people, we start making demand towards that direction. This is what, but you have to put a face on it. We have to, if ADC is serious, they know what to do. They started this problem. Part of this problem is not putting a face on it. And they know why they didn't put a face on it, because they were putting politics. And they do not want to deregister ADC for Atiku. They do not want to deregister ADC for Amechi. Let me make it clear. They do not want one man on the ballot. And that's the man. If you want to move forward now, you need to do things differently. Leave the politics alone. Secondly, and let me mark another point you should note. 2023 election. You and I know that what that result like. It was written. And intentionally, how Nigerian brain work. They stimulate your brain. They know they can't. Nigerian people, they like baby toys. They make it stimulate and put PDP on the second. Many men with integrity. If I'm in the position and I have integrity, I know I didn't come second. I know the person who won the election. They know. Even PDP knew. Why go to court? And you want to rule that country. Why go to court? All you do to show that you say this is statesmanship, come back and say, I know I didn't win the election. I know the man will win the election, which they knew. Quote me, they knew. I didn't come second. I am going to join hands to fight with this man. So all these things, when you take away the politics, that's when the truth coming. And that's why it's difficult to energize the people, because every one of them wants something. All these people they want to trend, they want to make money, they want to push the candidate, they already collected money. We know what the problem is. And the moment and when you do it now, let's say you give that man the ticket, they have a problem. It's easy for you to compose, migrate the whole party to somewhere else because you already have a candidate. But you don't want to do that. You do not want to do that because of politics. So you are also creating your own problem. So when we are all overanalyzing this thing, let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's tell ourselves the truth. And when the people are ready, you see it. Nigerians are not ready. Wike and all of them and the Supreme Court and these judges will continue to run free, cash out, and show them houses in the open, give them lands without work. And Nigerians, you're not ready. And you will clap for them. They even come and do one this. Look at the crowd that still follows APC with what people are going through. Nigerians are not ready. You've not mounted the pressure. Pressure works. Pressure goes with politics. And the fact that we're not doing the pressure work, mounting pressure is the biggest issue. And anybody telling me that little, all that we're doing in the last minute is the pressure, no, it's not pressure. You see pressure, you succumb. Pressure works. And one way to make pressure work, and even you want a Western to help you, people to help you, have to put a face on it. And you have to put a good face on it. And don't blame us. I'm Igbo, we're Igbo, we've given you our best. I know what you want. You want us to present the worst to you. No, we have given you our best. And that's pure. And if you miss it, don't blame us. And that's the problem. With all this judgment, all these things, that's the problem. You're running away from the reality. You are complicit. ADC is complicit with this mess. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I was a bit busy. Yeah, I can see some hands up. Who wants to go next? I thought Dragon was still here. He left already. Charlie P, are you there? Okay. Yeah, so
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, quick ones. Then I'll just call it a day.
Okay.
Yeah, who wants to go? I think it's mind game, right?
Yeah.
So mind game, please, if it will be okay, let's be conscious of the time. 5 minutes each. Right.
I'll try.
Yeah, please do. All right, you have the mic.
So good evening, guys. It's dark here from my side. I know some people are abroad, some people are in Nigeria. The last speaker spoke a lot of my mind, a lot of my truth, that Nigerians are not ready. Nigerians are not ready because Nigerians still feel that they have not got to the point where they should take matters into their hands. Nigerians are still okay to adjust than to fight. I'll be in my office and I'll be arguing with my fellow colleagues who would tell me that they still support APC even after all APC have done, and they are in the same shaggy. I will just be dumbfounded. I'm like, please, I'm trying to understand. So I believe maybe Nigerians have a lot of mental human beings who are unaware that they are psycho and they are mental and they don't have their right senses at play. I mean, we don't know how many mad people we have now, but there are a lot of mad people in Nigeria. Sorry to say. We don't know how many people who are sick in the head now, but a lot of people are sick. We are only privy to know other countries because they take those things seriously, but we don't. So there are a lot of people who are literally walking mad. That's why we find it difficult. We celebrate those who put us down. We actively work in their favor while we are suffering. Just does that sound like a human being who has his six senses? Just please, I'm literally trying to paint the picture. Someone literally is holding you down. You celebrate that person, you fight, you will take a bullet for that person that cannot take their own child in that position for them, for their children to take a bullet for them, but you will take a bullet for that person who is the reason you are where you are. And then tomorrow now, I check it out now. After 2023, you saw some of them that started crying as if I know. Are you stupid? You did not know. We are saying it now. You can see. Do you believe that in my office they tell me what the PO do? I now asked one of my colleagues. I said, okay, if you have a company and you have a Peter Obi that you have turned him upside down, left, right, and center, shaking, you could not find anything. You started going for his children. And you have a character between you. I mean, it's so funny how they are so delusional that even when the truth is in front of their eyes, they still try to find a way to spin the narrative. And I'm like looking at the guy like, are you kidding me? You can't do normal. You cannot be a human being. Please, after 2023 elections, don't put. I'm surprised that you even have the hope to put your hope in the process. There is no process. We are the process. We are the enforcers that will enforce the election to go the way it should go by right. You guys talk about Atiku. Everything about Atiku is sabotage. Did he not deal with Jonathan? There's nothing wrong with him supporting Jonathan and then coming over and becoming president after Jonathan. But he sabotage. Went to APC. We are a genesis of where Atiku has taken us to. If he did not have that grip, at least pocket your ambition for once. Please then look at it. Every time. Why can't you for once see the bigger picture? We have an Obi. If there was anything that could hold Obi down, if they had found anything on Obi, Obi would have been silent or have shifted camp and joined them. The man has nothing you can hold on. But look at the Senate. A conglomerate of crooks. Let's not lie. None of them can hold any of themselves accountable because they're all corrupt. Is there a Akpabio that wants to hold Badami Abila accountable? Or Badamila wants to hold Akpabio accountable? Or he wants to hold EFC chairman accountable? They're all in the same box. Now they all have a skeleton that they are hiding. That is the fear of Obi. If I cannot manipulate him and I have nothing to use to twist him, what do you think will happen when he takes in the mantle of leadership? You want to misbehave? They cannot let the Peter Obi with a clean record enter there. That is the beginning of sanitizing the whole government apparatus. That's why Peter Obi, yes, in as much I don't feel 4 years is enough, but he still tells you that, oh, I will do one term and I'll come down. Guy, I believe the change that man can enforce. So you know the fear, it's a Peter Obi. It is not an Otiku. It is not who came second. But who has been dragging since? Till now. Anywhere he moves, they will move with him. They just don't want him there. He is the hope that the people see. It is the hope that the people follow. Not for anything else. I keep saying it. Obi never said it's perfect. You stupid fools, you think you come and be twisting. He never said it's perfect. He's not even claiming to be half an inch perfect. But he's telling you that you cannot find him wanting in the case of corruption. That is the man that will put you first and your needs first. You guys are here. See, you wanna know what? You think this is suffering? Every day I go, I tell Nigerians and say, wait.
Usually before a government will come in, that first tenor, they will use it to try and make the people a little bit happy, give you a sense of hope, and they are working for where? When they enter second tenor, you now see them, oh, they are true color on our show. You can see APC fully dealing with you on a daily basis, fully flogging you, taxing you. The only reason they've put in that personal income tax pause is because of election. Look now, wait, make election, make them come back. You would pay tax to your nose. You've not suffered. I actually want Nigeria to suffer more. I actually am the person that will tell you that God, the way you made Pharaoh's heart harden Tinubu's heart to a point. Let him do and look away. No shake. We need to get to that point when our brain will literally rearrange. I am in it because I am here. I am facing it, not going to lie. But I still want him to do more. Baba, do more. You're not doing more. These guys can still praise you. You're not doing more. You're more shaky. You need to press their necks more. You people should allow them come 27. You think you are dying? You think you are dying? You think you've died? Wait it. Wait it. You think you're suffering? Wait it. You think you can afford food now? Wait it. You think fuel is not good? Wait it. You think the dollar? Oh, wait. Chill. You will see what devil will say. Jesus, I do not have an idea that the Tinubu can be creative in dealing with Nigerians. That is what you will face. They're everywhere now. They're all over the country. You're not safe. You are not safe. You go out and come out by the grace of God that keep you. You're not safe. 1 minute is back, but don't be soldiers. Why here now? You hear different things that will make you go mad. This is not a country. You got don't fool yourself. Country. Every day you open the internet, you hear different things from all over the country. Police buying this, armed soldiers buying this. You also people that are supposed to protect. I don't understand how you people think this is a joke, and you think you want this thing to come back 2027. You don't understand what you are praying for yourself. I don't understand the kind of people and mentality that we have as a nation to pray for evil for you are literally wishing evil on yourself, and then when it happens, you want to be crying where? May devil not punish you. I'm gonna cry you. Like I said, I'm part of the punishment and the suffering here, but I will not keep quiet. But may devil not punish you that you support this nonsense and you cry. Because some of you came out and cried when he was dealing with you in this first tenor. We are waiting for second tenor. It's OB or nothing. ADC, you know what to do. You know the winning person, the winning ticket. You know it already. They want to stall and make sure it doesn't happen. It cannot. We cannot even afford not to make it happen. That is where the change comes. They say 5 minutes, so I will let myself rest here. But no worry, even if you say, I enjoy the suffer. Lord, please give him more heart. Let him punish us very well. You have not done enough, sir. Please borrow more. Borrow more. We will pay. Borrow more.
All right. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mind Game. Let's have I think is Seeking. Have you spoken?
Yes, I think it should be justice now.
Okay. Yeah, he's requesting. I think it should be justice. We're even rounding off to close the space. Yeah, Justice, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, take 5 minutes.
My dear, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Oh my day, brother.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Charlie P, check your DM. Yeah, go ahead and Justice.
Let me start by saying that I actually like the Supreme Court judgment, and I want to also align myself with the legal representative Jimmy in saying that this was a master stroke performance from the lawyers of the ADC, and I would want Nigerians to look at the timing as the reason why they went to both the appeal court that derailed the judgment by giving an antebellum nonsense, and then, of course, them proceeding to the Supreme Court. What this basically means is that as we speak, the party called ADC, the major opposition party, will be on the ballot. That is clear. That is by the judgment of the Supreme Court today that the antebellum was unnecessary, and therefore, since we have a situation whereby no party would be exempt of leadership, the David Mark led leadership would have to continue, which is the statutory. Which again, we must remember that INEC, even though we know we are fighting, the puppeteers behind the scene, but we know that INEC participated legally in the institutionalization of that David Mark led leadership. That is by the way. Now, we should not now, give a direction as to what will happen at the Federal High Court. But the question we have to ask ourselves, or the answer we have to give ourselves, is that while the Federal High Court is still going on with their case, ADC will continue to remain a party and function. So I agree and align myself with your objective that they would have to continue with their primaries, just like you see in Nigeria. In Nigeria, sometimes it is just good to have either civil disobedience or to just go ahead regardless. This is Bloomberg is saying, and I quote, Nigeria's Supreme Court overturned a ruling that could have derailed the nation's major opposition party ahead of the national elections in 2027. This is Bloomberg. Okay, so I don't really care about anybody who would come now to say, oh, we should have waited or fought this case from the High Court. Fight it to where? The High Court will delay it, and then these same lawyers will come back again and say, okay, when you knew that the High Court was delaying it, why did you not proceed to appeal? We already know what is going on. We know the people that are doing this at the backstage. And this is what Jimmy is trying to say. So for me, initially I used to think that this was a mistake, but I'm seeing it from another angle, that these lawyers actually play the fast one on Wike, the man who thinks that he knows the courts or that he knows how to dribble his way through the courts, to say, okay, you people brought a case knowing fully well that the High Court may not have jurisdiction to hear party matters. A well-known, documented ruling of the Supreme Court to say that a High Court does not have the jurisdiction to hear party matters based on the fact that party matters are supposed to be allowed within the party for them to resolve it internally. This is, if I am going anything wrong from what the Supreme Court has already ruled on this case, I stand to be corrected. Okay, so let us forget about what is happening at the High Court. With the jubilation already in the country right now, with the jubilation already in the Supreme Court as of today, let us see the judge that will look more than half of the total number of Nigerians right now and rule again that the David Mark leadership cannot be allowed to carry on, so that you will now see the destruction that will happen after that judgment. So there is no doubt in my mind that this is the right judgment, and they followed this case to make sure that the window and the doors of ADC remain open through the ballot in 2027. Now, that is besides the point. I'm no longer going to speak about this David Mark, and I expect INEC, honestly, I expect INEC today, not tomorrow, today, that is if they haven't done it, to immediately reinstate David Mark's name on their portal. There is absolutely nothing. I expect them today to do it. That is number one. Secondly, we must remember that this particular matter of leadership is settled, at least for now. And know that there are specific provisions in the Electoral Act that goes a long way to undermining our elections in 2027. These specific provisions of the Electoral Act, as amended and horribly signed by this bloody criminal in Aso Rock, was what Mike Gimme came out on Arise, and he has been crying, he's been screaming that whereas before now we had an Electoral Act that allows for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to produce security-based ballot papers and what have you, election-sensitive materials. Right now, these criminals have changed it and already signed it into law to say that now people can produce anything so long as the presiding officer in the electoral ward certifies that those things can be used. So basically, Benjamin Kalu in Abia State can stay in his parlor, don't print some nonsense papers, bribe some INEC officials, they certify it as election materials, because I speak for my region. I don't care what basically happens in other regions. Everybody can speak for their region. I speak for the Southeast because I want the Southeast to be good. Benjamin Kalu, this is what is giving him the impetus to think that he will come into Abia State and remove the best performing governor in Nigeria. That's why he's not afraid, because they have changed the laws. I am just basically saying we now have to go to the second option of, listen, these laws must either return back to the National Assembly for amendment. All those sections of the Electoral Act that Mike Ime talked about, they would have to change it. We should not have a proviso on the basis that we must have real-time transmission of election results from the polling units. No proviso. Okay? We will have to do that. If it means also going back to the Supreme Court to say, listen, these people did this in error, we need this corrected before elections. That's number 2. Number 3 is that we have seen partisanship, lack of neutrality on the position of the INEC chairman. Okay, let us let this judgment not make us lose focus. All right, it must not make anybody lose focus. Amopiton of INEC will still have to resign. He has shown that he does not have the required electoral umpire needs to prosecute 2027. Okay, so he still has to go. These are the key things I think Nigerians should focus on. It is clear now that the Supreme Court is saying ADC must have leadership. So status quo antebellum nonsense. I don't even understand why judges will be giving us judgments in Latin in a country that speaks both English and Pidgin. Nobody says a judge cannot write his judgment in Hausa and then we can translate it. Okay, interpret it in different languages, but writing in very very vague languages that we do not understand. I don't know why they do that. But status quo antebellum is buried. It's not just dead; it is buried. So ADC must continue. Finally, you see, I don't want a situation where I have been saying it on all species. PDP may have gotten their weaker faction to win their case at the Supreme Court. But I would hope that all these juggernauts, these opposition juggernauts, remain in the party and now move forward with lightning speed, to produce a favorable candidate that has the mind of the people, that has the credibility and the large following. And of course, ADC are not deaf, neither are they dumb, to know that right now there is only one name, or maybe 2 names, that is causing a wave that is already a tsunami, that is a very big hurricane waiting to sweep away Bola Tinubu and this criminal gang we have in Aso Rock. And that is Peter Obi. If ADC makes this mistake, even after this Supreme Court judgment, I can assure you, theirs will be worse, still worse than PDP. we have an okay movement now that will sweep this already panicked Bola Tinubu in a sort of that is sharing rice all over the place. So it is high time we advise ADC to move swiftly now with their consensus and all primaries. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I would prefer a consensus because we don't have time. Seal this case and give Nigerians another fighting chance. Bola Tinubu right now is panicked. That guy cannot effectively run a campaign in the north. Neither can he do it in any part of the country. It's not in the middle belt. For God's sake, he couldn't even enter Plateau State. He only spent 10 minutes at the airport because he was scared that the people would lynch him. So ADC must do this for Nigerians. Give us this candidate that Nigerians are clamoring for and let us take our country back. Today is a good judgment in my own opinion. Let them still return at the Federal High Court. But while they are doing that, ADC remains a viable party. The only opposition in this country that must deliver this country from criminals and the criminal drug baron and certificate for the bandits, Bola Tinubu. We must see his back in 2027. We must see Bola Tinubu's back in 2027, and he cannot rig it. 2027 will not be rigged. So let us set aside this ruling and talk about the other, very pertinent issues that we have to deal with before we get to 2027. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say. I yield the mic.
Yeah, Charlie, your comment. Thank you, Justice. Yeah, I was a bit busy when that argument and when the back and forth was going on between Jimmy and Abiodun, and I wasn't able to say something. You see, even based on what Justice just said, Charlie P, I completely agree with Jimmy's position. I completely agree with the position Jimmy continues to maintain in this argument or this conversation. You know that popular saying, desperate time calls for desperate measures. I've listened. See, it's just funny how sometimes, they make the conversation, some people make the conversation look pedestrian. Okay, you go back to this court. That's like when you're dealing with somebody that is normal, that is playing fair. So while a couple of people were making those submissions, I don't know if the guy on channels right now with Sheung, it's not the lead counsel. I think he's one of the lawyers for the ADC. He made those. He so far he said some things within that line. They needed to do some. They needed to make some moves. They needed to go a certain way in executing or following up with that case that led to this, that led to where we are now. So for people that believe, they should have started from here and then get to this point. In fact, just like Justice mentioned, Bloomberg has it on one of their headlines. I don't know if that case had gone to the court that some people are saying or have been proposing. I don't know how much of the attention that it got so far it would have gotten if he went through that court. You get my point. So Jimmy, to be honest, I agree with you. Taking that court and then waiting for Supreme Court and the whole anxiety, the way it became a national issue, even not just national, it gained the whole international attention. It wouldn't have been so if the judgment wasn't, or the ruling wasn't, if it wasn't something that people were expecting the Supreme Court to say something. And if you read what Bloomberg said, I just read it like a few minutes ago, you will agree with me that, see, I'm not a lawyer, but you see, from the part I am sitting, I think they went the right direction. I think they went the right direction. Yeah. So Charlie P. Another thing again, quick one. Another thing again, I want to even mention. Yeah, I've read how many tweets from Balaji, I think 2, and then other people, other stakeholders within the ADC. So if they still, I mean, I'm even happy. It's nobody should be in a celebration mood. Don't go thinking, oh, Ebola Tinubu right now. In fact, I'm even suspecting the whole thing more than I did before. You get, this man is not going to play fair. He has not given up on anything. So don't go home thinking the fight is done and then feel okay at this point, let's begin to relax, and we'll continue. People, not just everybody that is interested and have maintained their opinion. This is not even the time for you to say, okay, I think we've achieved it. We've gotten what we've been looking for. Because you just watch something, he will come up with another thing again. He will come up with another thing. So I'm even happy that the leaders in the opposition and the party itself are not taking anything for granted. Based on the tweets, the statements I've read so far, I think they know what is coming. They know what is at stake, and they know who they are dealing with. So yeah, on that note, Charlie P, I hand the mic over to you. I don't know who else
Say
wants to say something before we bring the space to a close.
Sorry, Franny, you want to say something? Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Just quickly, to the ADC, I think, like Justice said, they should really, instead of pushing it to High Court, it should be there. They should just go and make sure, like Justice said, the INEC puts back the names on, because that's really the most important thing to me than that High Court. I don't care about that. Today. So as they're leaving that court, somebody's going straight to INEC to force them to put it back. Then we get back to business and do something meaningful with our party.
Exactly. So
time.
That something within the line of that question was asked the lawyer on with Sheung a few minutes ago. So what the guy, according to the lawyer, he said, see, at this point, with this judgment, INEC would be dealing with a David Mark. If they like, put the thing on the website. If they like, there is a clear definition of the person or the set of leadership that INEC at this point must be dealing with, and that is David Mark. So even if they like, let them put it on their website. But whatever INEC sends to them now, they must accept receipt of it. They must acknowledge it. They cannot reject it.
Whatever they send to INEC, you mean?
Yeah, whatever INEC sends to, whatever the party sends to INEC. So the correspondence at this point, INEC cannot, they have to be dealing with somebody now. That's from what the guy, what the lawyer was saying. So that's just the thing. Whether they put it on their website or they don't, David Mark is the chairman of the party. That's just the thing. So Charlie P. I don't know.
So we'll just be rounding up in this thing. Thank you, Ten over 10. Thank you, Jago. I don't know if you see here. I don't know if one or two, three persons have any parting word. Like you said, 10 over 10, the joy is not yet complete. There's a lot happening, so people should just keep watching. Business are not sleeping, so I just felt it was desperate measures that took them to the Supreme Court. But 10 over 10, you can see this is the reason why I struggle to balance our judicial approach on these things. If you bring 100 lawyers now, they'll tell you 100 different things. So everybody with their own view. Judiciary at the moment is who has a deeper pocket. So we don't even know where it stands. And in the last 10 years, every judicial conversation towards politics has never ended on a merit basis.
it has always slided under what technicalities, as many as I can remember. So let's not get heels over our heads. I think what the Supreme Court did was the best. I tell about that they didn't just want to rub their faces in the mud, and they know how very sensitive, sitting on this case would have been, because, like I said, judiciary sits on anything, man or woman, man or woman, quarrel. Supreme Court will deliberate on it. Today, the Supreme Court in Nigeria will sit down on it and be deliberate what we don't know. But like you said, it doesn't make sense. A house in disarray, and we are getting to this level of trying to take the rightful place. Take the rightful leadership, or what went, or what did not go well. But be that as it may, we are here now. Let's see how things unfold. ADC, while trying to adjust their seats, let them do the needful, whether consensus, whether primary, whatever they agree to do.
Just like Jimmy said, whatever the party wants to do, they need to be very, very fast.
Like that, I talk speed of light. I mean,
not Jimmy.
Okay, not Jimmy. With the speed of light, let them just do everything and submit to INEC. Then we'll be waiting for whatever conversation. This space has been running since yesterday. Came through this morning, so can boldly say it's been running for over 24 hours. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who has participated, who listened, who came, dropped, slept, woke up, and their opinions were well welcomed. People sold articles today. People sold stories to us today. People told us that Tinubu was the best thing after sliced bread today. Still wearing winter jacket though. So they really feel the brunt of waiting. Many people back home, they feel. But this Nigeria is our country, whether in diaspora, whether on ground, right to speak to get good governance. And we hope, we pray that the people, for once, the people's voices, energy, sound, should be heard. And that's what we are saying. We saw a young man 2 days ago killed just like that. Tell about that person, right? That all police people should go for psychological distinct checks. You're supposed to check all of them on an international body. Not be local this thing. They have to go through psycho-mental analysis to know that they are normal people. See the one that was posted today again, an old woman. This is how terrible we become. I'm just carrying the bags of people. First son going around and sharing city boys 30 billion. What did he do? What has he done? When he went out of politics, he never shared 30 billion. He was not sharing rice. He was not sharing anything. All of a sudden, the family have become so philanthropic with our natural resources. That is the country we find ourselves. And nobody gets to ask questions. We keep holding, we keep shouting, and we keep dialoguing and putting our heads together. We will disagree to agree. But one thing we know is that we want a better country for ourselves. Thank you so much. 10 over 10, thank you. And we're going to call it good night.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to everyone. Thank you to let me send regards to Jagu.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I was at work all through multitasking, coming in here, but you guys did it. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. And to every Jimmy, Abiodun, the lawyers we had here. Interesting one. I enjoyed that session too. Yeah, I appreciate everyone. Thank you guys. It's how do I put it now? But it's been an interesting. It was we waited for Supreme Court all the while, But like the leaders of the coalition or the ADC have said, it's nobody should go celebrating. In fact, you should be more vigilant now That's just the point. That's just the point. But whatever the party needs to do, however they want to do it, I think this is just the time to get things sorted out so that everybody will know we are standing on what we are sitting. So once again, thanks everyone. It's been a pleasure, having everyone here, hearing, exchanging ideas, listening to a lot of speakers. And it's a pleasure having us here once again. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Charlie P1. And a very good evening to everyone. Have a good night.
All right, looks like we've come to the end of this. There was some great conversations in there. I'm sorry I didn't bring it on time, but let me see. A lot of talk, a lot of conversation about this ruling. A lot of information, real-time information from those who were in the courtroom. But I do agree with what some of your concerns are, because that's my concern as well. So we're going to switch to another space for anybody who's interested in listening. So I'll just go here and then we'll just take it from there. I have to request the mic as well.
They will not. There are landmines everywhere.
All right. I think the next person is Shopee.
Sorry, did you call me? Sorry, that's a question.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Shopee before Allen X or so. Shopee, are you there?
Village man, can you see my hand?
Exactly. See,
yeah, I saw
laughing
hand.
will
Yeah.
worry. Very
Shopee
important.
before Allen
Reference
X
is important.
Shopee, are you there?
Cannot
Speak
continue
now or
like this.
forever remain silent.
We have to keep our eyes on these people, because me, I'm not running.
Okay, Allen
I'm
X,
not excited
after you
about what's going on, because these people are dealing with the devil.
Okay. So firstly, I've been looking at other people's interpretation of what happened today. But I want to thank Tudo. I like how you use that Pontius Pilate. When I saw the post, I was wondering how did this guy think of it? But it was very, very true. What the Supreme Court just did today was, they just told you that you did not file your appeal properly. I'm talking in my layman term. Thank God DO is here to legalize everything I want to say. You have to go back and you have to, and they just said, that's antebellum something, just set it out and just go back. Kind of go back. But I read one commentary from a lawyer who said that they did not really say go back. All they just said is, you did not file your appeal properly. There is a pending case, so go and fix the pending case. There was no judgment, nothing at all here. So you have to do that. And on 10/10 space, I think we're kind of arguing it with Dio. And I was saying that, Dio has always been of the opinion, and I think also Tudo has also been of the opinion that the ADC legal team did not do what was right. But I was looking at it that maybe they sat down and looked at it that if we go through this federal high court, Justice Peter Livu is very, very notorious. The kind of judgment that goes out there, let me call it controversial, just for space purposes. So I think they were trying to bypass that and get what they want. So for me, at first on 10/10 space, I was excited. until I started reading. That is one thing about Nigerian judiciary. There's nothing straight about them. But started reading, started looking at everything, and then I found out that it's kind of like a trap, because not only is the CGN that is also looking to the registrars, you are now also at that same place you are trying to avoid. And that same place you are trying to avoid is a booby trap, honestly speaking. So for me, I don't even know how we want to do it right now. But I'll be listening to Kolade. That's why I wanted to ask Kolade this question, that which other party now? And why do these people feel they can actually stop opposition? Like, what is giving them that guts to feel like they can stop any credible opposition from coming out in 2027? Because even the party I was hearing rumors that we're already talking to, I'm hearing that they're already having court cases already. I was hearing that it was Plan B and people already started talking and so on and so forth. Already having issues. Even ZLP is now part of this NDC. I'm hearing that they have logo issues, and then they are thinking of deregistering them. So I wanted to ask Oga Kolade, where are we? It seems like we are in between the deep blue sea and the whatever. Where do we go to? And are you sure we can muster people to fight this devilish government? Because it irritates me right now. The gods irritate me. Like, this man has carried his is it king of Lagos mentality to Nigeria, and he wants to impose himself on Nigerians, even when we know that he has failed and he keeps on failing every single time. So, Oga Kolade, honestly speaking, say I always stay on top your neck. Where do we go from here? Because I always, where do we go from here? Because it seems like we're in a fix right now. Yeah, thank you.
All I know is we are in a fix. The same way you don't know, I don't know. That is the honest truth. But for me, it is just the fact that I don't think sitting down right here would be to our table. I don't think so. Because whether we like it or not, look, once the timeline is over, these guys will remove their hands. They don't like anything you want to do. So for me, I'm like, I don't know, maybe you should answer it like this. What will you do if you find yourself in this situation, in this crossroad? This is a crossroad. Maybe we had like, leave gentlemanish, cut whatever, and take ADC on back to back on the street, no going. People should bring their canopy, bring their maturity, everything. Shut down INF for 1 week. Maybe things that would have been resolved. But the same thing that got us to this point is this same attitude of, we know what we are doing, let them just go and do. And at the end of the day, and now it's now so worse. But look, the timing is what the problem is right now. For me, it's the timing. And I've heard people say that, there won't be election in 2027. It's not just by saying there won't be election. If there won't be election, we should actually begin to know. We will start knowing right now. So, my brother, to be very honest, I have no clue to go. Where is that safe haven that we can run to? I have no idea. The politicians, do they know? Maybe, maybe not. But I think it is better that you even find yourself on that ballot first. And when you're on that ballot, at least you don't have one now. If they start on, I think there's a window to when they can't do anything again. That is what I think. So all these parties that we've been mentioning, I think there's still some of them that have scaled through certain order. That even if you get there, once you pass a certain window, you get it. Once we enter into candidate nomination, I don't think anybody can do anything in the court again. But it's not, that doesn't apply to you that you are already in that court. I think it's like somebody taking, I don't know how, maybe the lawyer will let us know, I don't know. But that is what I think. But to be honest, it is just that sit down put, just believe like, we just keep running it. The way we ran the what did we do then? When we were saying that, that we just go and doing it. And Trudeau did not even mention that. The convention, the courts, whatever. So now the Supreme Court had anything to do with that judgment about convention. And Trudeau.
Oh, sorry. You were saying?
Did the Supreme Court mention anything about the judgment on the
No, I don't. I didn't read. I didn't see it. No, they didn't.
So what does that mean? Does it mean that the convention is null and void?
I don't think so. So
okay.
No, go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just gonna say that how the Supreme Court does. They don't give any directive orders to lower courts. They give their judgment, and then other courts in the chain will take directions from there. So the Federal High Court that rendered, in my opinion, Federal High Court judgment that rendered our convention null and void was on the basis. Remember what she wrote was on the basis that the NWC that conducted that convention was illegal. It wasn't the right leadership, NWC, whatever. So they had no right to be conducting the convention. Well, now that and the reason she said that was because of the appellate court's decision that derecognized our leadership, upon which INEC acted. So it's a domino. But now, Supreme Court has basically squashed that decision of the appellate court. So I am thinking here that, again, the domino that was created before, basically the reverse is going to happen. Federal High Court, INEC will just take issues from that. That's what I'm thinking. And I think it makes sense that way because they've done it before. Remember, I keep going back to the Abure case. It was after the Supreme Court spoke, every other court was just taking their own directive from there. Keep saying the court has spoken. So that's just what I think. I don't know if that makes sense, Kolade.
I tend to disagree a little bit. Okay. Because I think the one for this one is completely different from this one. Maybe when we see because I have not read anything about it. If it's about you say, okay, that's the leadership of David Mark. That is why they said because they are out of office or what? Because antebellum simply means maintain status quo. Is it between that windows of maintaining status quo that they are not the right leadership? Because no court has said they are not the right leadership. You get it? So it's just at that point, it was just a vacuum that was created. So I don't get it. Maybe when we see and read that judgment, but again, because if the lower court have done that, you mean that was not taken to the Supreme Court to interpret. Now you have to now go and fight that one again, in my own opinion. I may be wrong. But again, let's see how things unfold.
So the Federal High Court, what she did, there is no, without the, sorry, I'm trying to park here. Without the appellate court ruling, which is the higher court than her court, what other reason does she have to make that ruling, right? How did she by herself determine that the ADC has no leadership? You see what I'm saying?
I think it was because of the chairman that went there to say that their tenure is not over. So I don't know. I don't even know how.
No, we know the plaintiffs are collecting. What I'm asking is, because you are approached by the plaintiffs doesn't mean anything. They went there with something, is what I'm saying.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Have you read it?
They are ruling?
No. Have you read the rulings or what they went to court with? Because let me go and find it.
No, I've read the case. I've read their ruling, and I also read the case that they brought. So what the state's ADC chairman are saying is that the convention contravenes existing ruling of the court. That's what they're saying. Because of the ruling of the appellate court, this David Mark NWC has no rights to be organizing a convention. And it was, I believe, it was on that basis that she made that ruling. Otherwise, let me put out a wild guess here. Okay, this is just a wild guess. Otherwise, imagine parallel this to the Nafiu Gombe case and the main case, the substantive case at the trial court of Emeka Nwite. I think what she would have, because these two courts are of equal jurisdiction on the same level. So I think what she could have done is to say show cause, because that's what the judge said in that case. Show cause. In fact, I listened to Nafiu Gombe's lawyer after the Supreme Court ruling today, and in his press conference, what he was saying there is that, he was basically disagreeing, of course, and then he was saying, why do you need to go to appellate court to go and settle this when the lower court that we went to, we all started from, has not even ruled anything? All the lower court said is show cause. Come, let us come and talk so that we can decide how to proceed on this matter. So that's the interpretation of show cause, right? So if that is the case, I am thinking Justice Joyce could have done the same. Federal High Court. 7 ADC state chairmen approached you and say, what these our leaders are doing, so-called leaders, first of all, they are not the real leaders of the party, and they have gone to organize the convention. We need you to stop this convention and declare it null and void. I'm thinking the first thing to say is show cause. So the only reason she would basically grant their prayers or their request is because she has a legal basis for it. That's my take. All right.
So my own take now is because she ruled and the Supreme Court did not give a ruling on her own judgment. That ruling stands. That's my own interpretation.
In the interim, yes. But
this is what happened.
Excuse me, Oga Authority, wait. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. I know. Hi, Meg, Nkade, Village Malam. Hi, everyone. But listen, I don't understand, okay? I have been following this, but I've not been really on ground. I've been busy, and I'm sure many people have not really been following every little bit. But for God's sakes, we're racking our brains so hard. Is there no lawyer? Is there no ADC lawyer? Is there nobody giving a press conference to tell us what is next? Why are we figuring things out here? Why?
No.
It's too cerebral. And no. What I'm saying is, don't we have a lawyer, somebody to put us right? The ADC, we don't have a lawyer. We don't have someone.
That is ADC now. This is not.
This is not a court of law.
No. What are they saying? What is their reaction?
They are not saying anything. They're not saying anything. That's the
problem. They're not saying anything, and they're not going to say anything because they will tell you it is sub judice. That's what they will say.
Sub judice to what?
Sub judice means. Sub judice means.
Yeah, please laugh because I don't know.
No.
Many of us don't know.
No. It's an inside joke from yesterday. I'm laughing because of it.
Sorry.
So what it means is that we can't talk about this matter because it's still in court.
But is it still in court?
It is still in court.
Okay, but there was something
it's still in
today.
court. Plural.
Can we make them come and tell us something? There was something done today. They should follow up with us.
Well, they have been.
I don't know. Anyway, that's how I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Hold on, please. So what they have done is to tweet. And if you follow all their tweets, in fact, if you listen to one of their lawyers, I have watched the video. So all these materials are out there, by the way. And what they have done is to basically give an interpretation of what the Supreme Court just said today. It is a victory, Pyrrhic victory. It's not over, but for now, we can breathe easy because this really means we are the substantive de facto leaders of the party. That's all they have said. And you are probably not going to get anything more than that from them. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay, you guys continue to break it down, okay? I was just wondering. because it's too much. It's so
Now, this is where I
cerebral.
wanted to bust
Well
in
done. Keep
between
keep breaking it down. I'm here. I'm listening. Thank you. I just wanted to say that.
where
Okay.
I
Thank
wanted
you.
to break in between you and Kolade is what those guys went to court to pray was in ADC constitution, we the chairman, state chairman, are the ones that it's responsible to conduct Congress that will bring in David Mark and co. It is not David Mark, it is not a technical committee that they set up that can bring up them. That was their prayer. I just want to put that forth so that we get that clear. Then the woman I gave the judgment and said, look, for this reason, David Mark, you are not the one that is responsible to usher the people that will conduct that Congress. That means the Congress you did based on your internal rules, guidelines, is hereby null and void. That is where that woman laid her plea and her judgment. So, like somebody said, is that one is substantial? Yes, it is. Because what the Supreme Court said, and Kolade said, did he speak about that woman? No, because that one is already a judgment. And what the Supreme Court said, that was what Tudor was saying. As long as the Supreme Court said, right now it's these men that are dead. It looks like time has passed that woman's judgment. It looks like that Supreme Court has squashed Justice Joyce Abdul Malik judgment. That's where we need a lawyer. You understand? So that is the only thing I can say here.
I don't think that's correct, Shao. But I don't know. Some people have their hand up. Maybe they can go. I think the second federal high
So
court
David
case.
is here now. Let David.
Oh yeah,
David,
I think
Yeah,
I think the first federal high court case and the second federal high court case are different and parallel, and they still hold us for the other one. But no,
okay. Ali next, are you he's reconnected. So Peter Obi last but go so that we'll go to the lawyer in the house to really break down this thing for those of us that are non-learned colleagues.
Before Peter Obi, let him break it down so that because what we are now is to charge ourselves up and not the next stage. Where Kolade is free. That is
Yeah, Peter Obi, are you there? But the good news is that we are no more. In fact, I'm sad because they have denied us our antebellum. Like we can't be using that word again. That's my annoyance now. Go ahead, Peter Obi.
Sorry, before Peter Obi, Osa, the neck is the highest lawmaking, how do I phrase this, organ of the party.
Yes, I know. I don't know where they get their constitution.
Exactly.
I mean, I
So
don't know
what the neck did,
we said it now. That
what the neck did was legal. Observed by INEC, documented by INEC, upheld by INEC. Okay? In fact, in the affidavit that INEC filed,
certified by INEC.
Certified in there. So what are you talking about? They have zero hits.
Hold on. Tudu, wait, that means what you are saying is wrong then, because you just said that according to the constitution, which I never read, that the state chairman have the power. So that means it's not the state chairman, then it's the neck. I'm trying to understand.
That was what they said in the court. That was what the woman gave judgment to. That is, we are talking about illegality.
So hold on. That means that the federal high court judge misinterpreted the constitution. Sorry, that doesn't sound correct. Wait, that doesn't sound right. What happened there? Because the way you said it is an alignment with what she did, but what Tudo is saying now about the power of the neck is different. So what is going on?
Very opposite. You can't even imagine it. That's that woman now. You can't imagine her ruling. That judgment, I don't even know where it came from.
So and I think there is no punishment for a bad ruling. You have to go to appeal court and appeal this other one. So So wait.
Number two, to Kolade's initial point, the Supreme Court can override a lower court ruling, I just did today, but they don't tell you next steps. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes, but I think the thing is, these people have put us on two parallel races. The first race started from Bala, Federal High Court 1, and went to Appeal Court, and went to Supreme Court, and now we've been thrown back to Federal High Court 1. The second one started from Federal High Court 2, and now they are forcing us to now have to go Federal High Court 2 to Appeal Court 2, which will then end up in Supreme Court that will fling us back to Federal High Court. Oh, sorry, that will likely fling us back to Appeal Court. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen, not Federal High Court again.
And the third one,
And there's a third one.
Attorney General of the Federation.
There's a third one, Jesus. in 10 days.
I think in all these cases, the one that is more concerned now is even if well, let's just finish this one before we make all those statements.
So just so we're clear, right? If I have enough money now, I can just go and register in the APC and say that I am a member of the APC and take them to court the same way they're taking us to court. Because I don't even understand. Court cases are just spraying out of nowhere. It's like you just call like 3 people and tell them, how much do you want? 500 million. Okay, I've sent it to you. Or I go to court. That's what this thing feels like. It's like these guys can create 10 court cases out of 10 air just for the sake of it.
All right. Let's know if Peter B last born will demystify this whole stuff.
Village man, you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, can hear me. All right. Thank God, see you no call that other name. If not, I almost see you to call.
He can't Mesere.
I no call that name again.
Mesere Kambo.
No call that name again. I go take you to court. I'll tell you to court, please. For defamation of name. I've been had this to call it. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Everybody has spoken were just confusing ourselves, confusing anybody, just big grammars up and down because of ADC. My question is, why do we always find ourselves in this kind of condition? 2023, 2022 come and go, struggle, all this one left and right, and we're still here. It's well. All right. This is my point. I think Village Mala actually said what I wanted to say. Some of my things I wanted to say. What will happen if some key stakeholders, or not stakeholders, some aspirants or people that the party want to project? Let's say, for example, Peter Obi and Kwankwaso go to a different party and register on a low, and the David Mark and his people, NWC as they call themselves, keep on fighting till if it did not if they won the case before that 10 days, we can still bounce back. But if they did not, we already registered to others party so that in case they submit name, because it's member of party that can stand election. I don't know, some constitution say you must be a member of this in so period, like what happened in Labour Party. So it's another thing to think about. It depends on the party constitution. Maybe if they go and join and the party constitution say you must be a member in 10 years, in 50 years before you can contest for a position, it will be another issue again. But if they join and their constitution is not against that, I think that is one of the best options to do. Another one again is, I think these courts have given us a set direction. If we are wise enough, if the party are wise enough, they should go and try. It won't be easy. Look at those Bala Gombe, all those people that are giving us headache. Call them to table, discuss with them if they will listen. But if they do not listen, this is a perfect time for us to go and look for a perfect case, a perfect lawyer, like let us go back to our drawing board as soon as possible and define all these things and see our lapses, see where we are fall, pray left and right, and tackle this well. Because right now, they've given us a small upper hand. I think I don't know. The next thing to pressure is to pressure INEC to return our Antebolo, sorry, to return our David Mark name to the INEC portal. I don't know if this judgment also determined that because he removed David Mark's name from the portal simply because of the antelope that he interpreted. A professor in law cannot interpret antelope. Um, I think maybe that was the reason. But with this court judgment, I don't know if according to the constitution, he had the right. He is not compelled to go and change the name, switch the name back to where it was before. So the party can proceed. And I still don't understand. I still don't know if
What's going on? Okay. Sorry, oh my people. Hold on 1 second. Let me share this instead. This is a serious matter.
they call themselves strong people, our party ADC people cannot come together with their experience and see all this future. How they are making this man to be overhyped. Oh. This is other two solutions. It's either they inform us now that there will not be elections. Now we'll hit the streets and sleep there and fight for the right thing. Or they tell us that they are not ready for election. And all of us will go home and wait for the next move. Because this is actually draining. It's giving us headache. It's giving us headache. It doesn't sound sweet. I wake up every day with fear, thinking like today, my mind was keeping as if it was that um all eyes on judiciary period that they want to pass Peter Obi judgment. So not making somebody so that we should be thinking.
Okay, this thing keeps cutting out. I think we're going to end it here. I'll go talk to Una later. Bye.